Welcome back to the show where we drive through piers.
So it says to her hyper train, I don't even know her.
Yeah, I was just talking about how I saw everything everywhere all at once. It was a very, very good film. Nothing wrong with it at all. But it didn't change my life. I guess that's the thing. Everyone was like, this film is monumental. I was thinking about it for weeks afterwards and stuff. And I don't know. I just wasn't. I can't. Like, there was, again, nothing wrong with it. It was a great film. I could easily watch it again. Notice all the little details and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for the prequel of Something Somewhere.
Something Somewhere, Nowhere at Once. Nowhere at all. I also saw Doctor Strange 2, Electric Boogaloo. Sam Raimi's latest hit. And I have to mention that because everyone who makes a review on Doctor Strange 2 mentions Sam Raimi. It is very Sam Raimi in certain parts. It is also very Marvel-y in certain parts.
What makes a thing Sam Raimi?
This is kind of over-the-top campiness. His, the way he uses the camera, the way he kind of writes characters. It's kind of hard to describe, but if you've seen some of his stuff like The Evil Dead and stuff like that, you kind of get
Spider-Man movies.
And the Spider-Man films as well. Yeah, it was fun. This one was interesting because my expectations were literally like pretty middle of the road. Like, I'm sure it'll be kind of like a fun experience. And probably not much else, and I was 100% right. I'd kind of hoped, I guess, to be a little bit more like, ooh, I really love this film, and ooh, it's like ranking high. Nah, it's just fine. Considering it's essentially the sequel to like WandaVision as well, which is one of my favorite shows from last year. I was a little let down, but still, it was pretty good, I guess. I don't know if I should spoil any of it for you guys. I'm presuming you two haven't seen it because you guys don't watch movies.
I'll watch it when it comes out.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. Well, I won't spoil anything, but there are some cool things in the film. There's some pretty awesome sequences and scenes that make you go, whoa, holy moly, and scenes that make you go, yeah. But that's really all I can say in my review of Doctor Strange 2 Electric Boogaloo. Would I recommend you watch it? Sure. That's my answer.
I'm not sure.
You definitely do need to watch WandaVision first, though.
Did you watch Doctor Strange 2? Yeah, sure.
The next thing I watched is not a movie or a TV show, but a YouTube original series. I watched In Space with Mark Iplia. Have either of you guys watched it?
AKA Honest Anus, right?
Have either of you guys watched In Space with Mark Iplia?
Nope.
No.
Okay. It was pretty good. It was, here's the thing. Like, it's a YouTube production, so it's nothing, you're never going to see anything stellar, but, like, considering what it is, it's really good, They got sets, they got a whole cast, they got, like, all these different alternate paths and stuff you can go down. It's a whole journey, it's a whole exploration. It's pretty impressive, for a YouTube series. It's probably the best YouTube series there is, I suppose. However, there are a couple of things where I was like, one is that you kind of got it, like, in order to kind of appreciate it fully, you kind of have to be very in tune with your Markiplier lore, I suppose, which I am not. So there was a lot of jokes, references, gags, and things that I just didn't get at all. Which I guess is on me, but at the same time, like, I think so many people like have only watched In Space with Markiplier and not like much else that I don't know. I feel like it's not just me. Like, there's a lot of like self-referential humor and stuff and characters that like come back. Oh my god, this character is back, but I don't know who that character is.
Yeah.
And the other thing
I can't believe he's back. Who the fuck is this guy?
Holy shit, it's Markiplier, but he's in a mustache this time. That's basically what it was. One thing that really surprised me, this is a complete tangent, but Mick Lauer is in it, which was very surprising to see. I knew he liked Markiplier, but I didn't know he actually worked with him. And apparently he's been working with him for a long time, which is kind of funny. It's also got Matt Pat and Ninja Sex Party are in it, and they all have their own segments and stuff.
Okay.
It's just kind of fun. There's a bunch of YouTubers, I'm sure, that I also don't recognize. If I had to say a real complaint with it, because there's a lot of stuff that like you can make cheap jabs at. It's like, well, it doesn't look like a high budget film because it's not, but it's got some amazing stuff considering. The only real complaint I could have is that despite the fact that it kind of like sells itself, this whole with Markiplier series sells itself on like kind of it being multiple choice, and you get, you know, choose your own adventure, go whatever path you want to go down sort of situation. It doesn't matter because you will always end up in the same place at the end. Which I don't know if they were all like that or not.
Maybe the one I did was a date with Markiplier.
Yeah. That was like the first one, I think.
Yeah.
I think I did that one way back in the day.
And the problem with it was that you constantly just ran into dead ends, so you had to go back to where the last multiple choice was, that you actually could change direction and actually follow some sort of path. You
could consider those endings. There were no real dead ends. I mean, maybe there's a couple, one or two dead ends in Space with Markiplier. But for the most part, they all kind of funnel into the same ending. Which kind of actually, the second part, so there's two parts in Space with Markiplier. The first part's pretty good, because like, oh, will you put out the fire or turn on the air or something like that, right? You know, you have to get choices that kind of affect the story. The second part is literally just, will you go through the left portal or the right portal, and you have no way of making an informed decision. And it literally doesn't matter at all what you pick. Because you don't have an informed decision, you're just kind of going. And I kind of felt like, you know, I'm just really picking arbitrary paths. Like, I kind of prefer, if you're going to do... I feel like I shouldn't be criticizing it, because, you know, considering what it is amazing, you know, like, with the budget and the cast and the people and the writing that they had behind it, it is comparably amazing to, like, 99% of everything on YouTube, right? But at the same time, I'm like, well, you know... I would have liked my choices to have some impact and some meaning. They all just seem pretty fluffy by the end. It's just like, I don't know, just pick.
Yeah, left, but it's no Among Us musical.
What?
Yeah.
Brings up Among Us musical, refuses to elaborate. Leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing as well is that it is very Markiplier centric, as expected, and they kind of try and make this kind of big philosophical kind of speeches as it goes on about the nature of reality and like how long can we keep this up and do this and stuff. And I was really kind of like not tuning out, but sort of just having it wash over me, like, yeah, okay. And they're like, there are some emotional scenes with Mark, and I was very straight faced, and I was reading the comments, and everyone was like, I cried when Mark said this, and I'm like, oh, sorry, okay, yeah. I think I definitely think I'm missing a lot because I'm not the biggest Markiplier fan in the world. So I don't know. You know, I'm sure a lot of people will say, well, it wasn't for you then. You shouldn't have watched it. But it's like, I don't know. I think anyone should be able to watch it. I don't know.
I think Markiplier would be happy if anyone watched it.
Yeah, I think he would. But, you know, I'm just putting constructive criticism, I suppose. But other than that, really well done. Is it worth watching? I'd say for the experience, at least, and just seeing the novelty of it all, like, some of the paths and stuff are very creative and inventive. There's some really cool ideas on display. You will have to kind of, like, backtrack a lot to see everything, but, you know, this is part of it, I guess. The next thing I have been watching is, well, we've been talking a lot about, like, watching Futurama and stuff again. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to watch Futurama again. And so I actually have been now. Instead of constantly saying I have no time, I actually have decided to actively try and watch Futurama. Oh. And I'm up to, like, halfway through season 3, and it has been very fun.
Yeah, you can bite his shiny metal ass, you know?
Yeah, that's the line.
Because he's like a TV, you know?
Yeah, nothing really to say about that. I just thought, you know, it's kind of funny. The last session we were talking about how, like, oh man, Futurama's so good, we should watch it again. And then we didn't, but I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. It has been good to watch, particularly while editing and rendering things. I watched an old film recently, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I don't know if you guys have even heard of that one. You
I've heard of it. I don't think I've watched it, but
it is very ridiculous. But once you get over the ridiculousness, it's pretty fun. People just fly around a lot, and that's not like an exaggeration. They just suddenly start flying and flinging off buildings and shit, and you're like, oh, okay, that's very obviously just strings and things. Weirdly, the word I'd use to describe it is kind of cozy. It's kind of a cozy film, despite, you know, all of the, you know, ninjas and killing and, you know, stuff like that. Oh, nice, dude. I think you got 2 there.
I did. I didn't even know that guy was there.
I don't think he was a policeman.
He was.
Oh, I actually have like a minorly connected anecdote. where
Really?
you went back and watched Futurama. Thanks to work, I've been listening to audiobooks recently while at work, and that has allowed me to delve back into a nostalgic thing of the Harry Potter book series.
Ah, you're listening to Stephen Fry?
Let me see. Narrated by Jim Dale, and I finished the last book halfway through last week. And Jim Dale's narration of all the books has been like phenomenal. It was a really
Is he
good
American? He sounds very American.
Yeah, it was just a nice nostalgia trip to get through the monotony of my work. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how like pretty okay the story of this series was. Like, this is pretty cool. And then when you read all the books, and then you watch a retrospective on the movies, you go, hold on a second. This literally doesn't make any sense in the fucking movies.
There's some stuff that happened in the last couple movies that just kind of don't make sense because they were making them too fast.
Well, like but also like you realize that like they cut out a lot of important or change a lot of important things. Yeah. That when you go from like the books to watching the movie, you're like, hold on a second, this doesn't make any sense.
Give an example.
So like in the Half-Blood Prince, in the movie, after they look at the memory of Professor Slug to show that he told Tom Riddle about making Horcruxes, Dumbledore in the movie goes, "Oh my god, oh my god, I can't believe it. He's made Horcruxes." And in the book, he's like, "I kind of had the feeling that something like this was going on, and this is good to confirm my suspicions, and I've been planning around this for the past 4 years." So, you know.
Oh, I see. So
book Dumbledore is better than movie Dumbledore.
Oh, so what you're saying is like, so how he knows that we finds like, what is it, like the locket or something that's in that like.
He has like the ring, and then like later they find the locket in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, because like in the movie, it goes almost immediately from, oh my god, he's made Horcruxes, to I think it's the next scene where he's like, come on Harry, we're going on an RPG adventure to get rid of this locket now. I know exactly where this locket is.
That does happen in the film, yeah. Last year or the year before I tried reading all the books, I got like halfway through the fourth one. I was enjoying them, I just stopped because, I don't know, I don't give myself enough time to read. I don't even give myself enough time to read audiobooks, man. I'm very, very slowly going through all the Discworld books.
Oh, yeah. I'm just lucky that, like, for my job, it's basically 8 hours of just staring at something that takes no brain power to do. Mm-hmm. And if I don't have something going through my ears, my job will drive me insane if I don't have something to listen to. So I'm glad to have these, like, 26-hour audiobooks that take several days to get through.
What are you going to listen to now, though?
Well, right now I don't have any plans because I'm currently unsubscribed from Audible, so I don't have any books that I'm in the market for right now. Because before revisiting this, I revisited like another middle school book series that I read in 7th grade, which was the Cirque du Freak series of books. It is a book series that suffered from the syndrome of we tried to make a movie out of this book series, fucked it up really badly, and now we will never have proper movies for these books.
I'll tell you a film franchise that recently happened to, actually, for that exact thing, Artemis Fowl. A classic beloved kids books series that they tried to make a film of, and it was one of the worst things of all time. And that only came out like last year.
Oh, fuck! This is what happens when the police are so shit, and then I've just gone looking for them.
Keep forgetting you got a character model. Oh, what the hell was that for? That was unnecessary.
Because in the game I'm a dick.
No, if you don't breakdance style on the person that you're arresting, you're just doing your job incorrectly.
Busted.
Let's get back in the movie.
So, what's your favorite book series, by the way, Frank? Or book in general?
I think, a book in general is even like harder, but like for a whole series of books, I think it's probably either the Harry Potter series or a trilogy for the Warhammer 40k stuff. they've had a trilogy for one of the characters named Fabius Bile, and
I have been thinking about reading some 40k books. I think particularly
some
about
some
Space
of them
Marine
are
stuff.
some of them are pretty good. If you care more about like the Marine part, where it's like I don't know if you just mean the Loyalist or if you also mean like Chaos Marine stuff.
They're both interesting.
You know what's interesting to me?
Finishing
The
the
next
episode.
episode.
Yeah.